Hi, I hope you've been good. This is the part 2 of my model advice video. If you haven't watched part 1, I strongly recommend you to watch it before. We discuss what to include in your model application, your digitals, and what to expect after applying to casting directors and agencies. You can watch it by clicking here or in the link below. I really hope that these videos will be helpful for your modeling journey. So let's get into it.
So another very important thing is your social media that I want to talk about. I kid you not that many casting directors, the first thing that they do, instead of looking at your portfolio, they will go on your Instagram and they will see whatever they can find out, do a little detective work. So I want to give you some suggestions and ideas how to make your Instagram the best it can be. I mean, like you don't have to have like a professional Instagram. It can be your personal Instagram, but if you want to get more contacts or whatever from your Instagram, I think it's really good to pay attention to these few little things. Whenever I do castings, and I know many other casting directors do this, I do not hesitate to look at someone's Instagram. Like, I usually just look at their Instagram a lot of times, especially if I'm doing a casting where I know I won't meet that person in real life. So I just gonna have like videos or pictures or whatever, but I can find out so much more from their Instagram than I can from their portfolio. So it is very good for agencies to also include their Instagram or TikTok, and also for like models or freelance models to have like a nice, useful Instagram. So it is important because when I look at your Instagram, I can understand a little bit more about your personality. So yeah, also how you want to be perceived and what you want to show of yourself. And that's, I think, very good to see, because there's a lot of models who, I don't know, have like other side things, like they do singing, or I don't know, they study something, and I think it's nice to see the whole picture rather than just like how somebody looks like. So I just want to give a few key points to keep in mind to have on your Instagram. It's not a big thing to add, but I think it's great to have your general info in your bio. So it's great to add your agencies if you have multiple, and also where you're based. With you can put the little like a little pin thingy. Also, it's nice to add where you're from. You can just put the little flags or like the name of the country or countries. And if you're in between places, like how I told you for the email part, here you can also write down that you're like between, I don't know, Paris, Shanghai, and Cape Town or whatever. And then a lot of times it's nice to also add your age and your height in there, or your contact info, so you can just do the little like email button. Also, that's that, I think, what's important there, just for you to understand. A lot of times, like, I do a casting, I look at someone's Instagram and I think like, oh my god, that person looks great, I want to propose to my client, but I have no idea where they're based. They have like a bajillion images from all the different types of places, so I can't even figure out where this person might be. So a lot of times I just ask them where they are based, but a lot of times like I don't even bother to like find out unless like I really like that person for that. So it's very good to have the information where you are based. To get to the actual pictures, to many models and also to agencies and agents where they were curating way too much the models, like their models Instagram, or the models were curating their like Instagram like, way too much, and only like putting like the nicest, most polished pictures ever from like photo shoots, and then don't have anything else there. I think it's kind of, you know, it's nice to have like as a portfolio if you don't have a portfolio, but if you have a portfolio and then you have the same exact things on your Instagram, like it's not very useful from like the casting point of view. Like, you know, it's your choice however you want to present yourself, but I think it is great to like show a little bit of your personality and and show a little bit of your interest. Mix it up a bit with some like videos and where you're like talking or walking videos, or for example like just random things like, I don't know, like what music you like, or like, you know, anything that shows a little bit of you and not just how you look. Like a lot of times I have castings where, I don't know, they ask for like a model who can figure skate or something like that. I'm just saying random things. But if you're, you know, in as your hobby or your whatever passion sport, you put some videos where you're figure skating and then I see that on your Instagram, I won't find out about that in your portfolio. So I think it's great to see that, and I can share it with the client like right away. So yeah, anything like that, I think it's very, very useful. And then the other thing is like sharing some videos. One of the most important things is to see how you are in front of the camera. That can show if you're like confident or more shy, which is fine, but it's good to see. A lot of like photo shoots or communities, whatever, they also want to do like a little behind the scene photo shoot. So it's kind of nice to see that part, how you are acting in front of the camera, or like how you're behaving in front of the camera, which is, you know, like a skill that you need to require. Like I'm here all awkward talking to a camera. I've done like 10 videos at this point and I am still being very awkward in front of the camera. So you can work on this skill also as a model to like talk and whatever. I think that's very important also, and put it on your Instagram. I also just love to see like how people are, because like just seeing like a picture of someone, it's like it's just so hard to decide if like that person goes well with that brand or whatever. So yeah, I think the more you share about yourself, the better it is. But then also it kind of narrows it down more. That's like another thing. But that's up to you to decide, I guess. Where can you apply and where should you apply? Big difference. As I explained to you, you can apply to me on my Instagram or on my email, but also there are a few other ideas that I want to share with you where you should apply, or where can you even like find out about like different modeling jobs. The best advice that I can give to you is to follow model agencies, model scouts, model agents, and casting directors on Instagram or TikTok. There's like this girl on TikTok, I think she's in LA. She does like really nice casting videos, and I'll link her below. She always posts about like great like tips and some like casting requests. It's very different from the things I do in Paris, but it's very useful I think to watch and follow. And I would love to also do stuff like that on TikTok, but I never really get around, maybe sometime. So most of them, they post regularly about different opportunities and jobs or whatever, wherever you can apply, or if they have an open casting. I also post sometimes, but I don't work on many open castings where I would like share it with everyone besides the agencies. But I also reshare a lot of my like colleagues' posts. You decide who you follow, honestly. If you have no idea where you can find them, you can treat models.com as your modeling Bible, as many of us do. There is so much information on it. I think you can use it quite a lot without paying for the pro version. If you're a professional, it's nice to pay for the pro version because there's like a lot of things about the different agencies and you can like filter it. Yeah, so anyway, you can go on models.com and you click on agencies, and then there you can filter it with country and city, and I think you can also filter it with male and female model agencies. And then if you click on those agencies, you can see like their website that you can also check and see if your profile would match with their profile or whoever are the people that they are working with. And then you can apply to their agency directly if you don't have an agency yet. Most of the time I think they have on their website there like the part where you can apply to be a model, or you can also just send an email. Models.com usually have the contact email there as well. I encourage you to take this as like a proper job application and treat it as such, because if, for example, if you're located somewhere in the world and you're applying to jobs in Paris and you're not in Paris or you're not even in Europe, it is very unlikely that anyone's gonna get back to you or anyone's gonna send you any opportunities. But if you're applying locally in your country or in your region, there is a bit better chance that someone will get back to you. And then a lot of those agencies are in touch with like the big fashion city agencies, and then those agencies usually send their agents or scouts to those like smaller, more local agencies to find new people to work with. And if, you know, things go well, you can get signed with like a Paris or London or Milan or New York agency. But I think it is better to apply where you are and find people locally. I had a few questions about that too, where they were like, hey, I tried to apply locally and nobody got back, or they got back to me not being interested in me modeling. And then the thing is, like, if the local agencies don't find you to be able to model or have a career as a model, unfortunately, there is very likely that the agencies, bigger agencies, won't find you suitable for modeling either. You can, of course, like pursue your passion or your dream and start working as a freelance model and try to basically be your own agent. I know a lot of people who do this and a lot of them have success in it. There's another tab where it says people, and then you can scroll down to casting directors, and then you'll find many of my lovely colleagues, some of whom I work with and some of whom I haven't. But it's great to check the work that they do just to get a better understanding, like the region where they work and also the type of jobs that they're doing. So what I mean here is, don't apply to a casting director that you want to work in Paris Fashion Week when that casting director has no job doing any shows and they're located in Hong Kong. I don't know if this makes sense, but just like apply to the things that make sense. I guess. As I mentioned, I think for this you need the paid version, but another thing that you can do is if you go on my Instagram, you go to the people I follow. I think you can see that. And then, you know, besides a bunch of my friends and family, there is a lot of like colleagues and a lot of like industry professionals that I worked with or I follow for whatever reason. And a lot of times they post like in their stories mainly about like different jobs or applications. So I think it's great to go through those and then try to reach out. So it's great to follow as many industry professionals as you possibly can, because you can never know who's going to post about a job that could be suitable for you. Once again, be mindful, like if you're based in LA, try to follow casting directors or agencies who are based in LA. Or if you want to do more commercial jobs, try to follow people who work on commercial jobs. Like, I feel like this this should be an obvious thing, but I think it's good to talk about it because there is like so many different types of jobs that you wouldn't necessarily know about. But I just want to like let you know that this is how it works, and I think with this you give yourself a better chance to have any replies or possible jobs, and also you don't waste your time on reaching out to people that will probably not get back to you. So I just try to be, you know, honest and give some like ideas. So for example, like if you're following me and you're waiting for me to like post about a job, I'll probably most likely post something that's happening in Europe or Paris or London, or I might repost some of my colleagues' posts. But it is really up to you, like, you know, who you follow and who you decide to like keep an eye on, kind of. Honestly, I mainly post about kittens. I really hope that this was helpful, and thank you so much for watching my video, and have a wonderful day. Bye!